We live in a world that looks very different for kids today than it did for their parents. This month, the hit Netflix series Adolescence captured this very difference. If you watched the show, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, let me give you a preview. In one episode, a detective is investigating why a 13-year-old boy killed his female classmate. He tracks their Instagram interactions. Based on it, he assumes that these two children were friendly. That is, until his son, who's a teenager himself, tells the detective that he's got it all wrong. The emojis shared between the teenagers seemed innocuous, but they were actually a coded form of bullying. This is a dizzying realization for the detective and for the viewers of the series, and this disconnect is central to Adolescence. This is a hard-hitting drama. It shows the aftermath of the stabbing of a teenage girl in the UK. It shines light on the corrosive impact of social media. It explores how the ideas of online influencers, like the self-described misogynist Andrew Tate, shaped the views of children hooked onto their phones. It also talks about the impact of the so-called manosphere. This includes online forums that oppose feminism and promote sexism. So the show explores a range of interconnected issues, and it has gripped the world. It has attracted 66 million viewers the world over. That's about the population of France. Within its first week of release, Adolescence made history in the UK with about 6.5 million viewers. The series has sparked a global conversation. Even the British Prime Minister is talking about it.
I mean, it's incredible. And it holds you there for four, frankly, at times harrowing episodes. And I have to be honest, as a dad, I have not found it easy viewing. We've been watching it with our children. My girl is 14, my boy is 16, and it's been really hard to watch.
It may be hard to watch, but Netflix has made an announcement. The drama will be aired across schools in the UK. Children in secondary schools will be able to watch it for free. And Starmer has backed this decision. After all, Adolescence is not about one fictional, innocent-looking boy who was driven to do something horrific. It shows that what happened in this series could happen anywhere, is happening anywhere and everywhere. Here are some headlines from last year. A 17-year-old stabbed 3 little girls dead at a dance class in the UK. 2 teenage boys were stabbed to death, and the murderer gloated about it on social media. 2 15-year-olds were arrested for killing a teenager by stabbing her 28 times. There are hundreds of cases like these, and not just in the UK, from Albania to India. It's happening everywhere. The question is why, and the answer is not straightforward. But part of the problem is isolation. Children are increasingly becoming lonely. About a third of them are lonely the world over. Mental health cases are on the rise, so children are no longer safe in their own rooms. As they peer at screens, forces exploit their vulnerability.
The devastating effect of misogyny on our society, very powerful. The dangers of online radicalisation and this sense of young people being on their own, very often in their bedroom or wherever, isolated with that online radicalisation.
Children are impressionable. What they see is what they learn. Unfortunately, in today's world, this means content on the internet, which is often hateful, violent, and sexist. According to a poll in the UK, 80% of 16 and 17-year-old boys consume content by Andrew Tate. In contrast, only 60% have heard of their own Prime Minister. This may sound appalling, but 56% of young fathers approve of Andrew Tate. Now, to give you context, this is the same man who has gone viral with his rants about male dominance. He has openly advocated violence against women. He has been banned from every major social media platform, and yet his ideas have taken root in the minds of countless children, even boys as young as 5. So when impressions are made at such a young age, we know what comes next. Deepfake porn of girls made by their classmates, cyberbullying, misogynistic chants by children, and sexism across schools spurred by social media. It is like a horror show, and children everywhere are at risk. But there is no silver bullet to fix this. Like we said, this is not one problem. This is a broad cultural issue. It is about how society views women. It is about the sheer lack of regulation. It is about playing catch up with technology. This is a problem that needs both awareness and policy change. A TV show has taken care of the first part. There is awareness. Policymakers can talk about it. But it's about time that they take up the baton and do the work.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.